Jimmy Black with Music on 11. I'm here with Reed Mullin.
You are Jimmy Black, aren't you?
I am Jimmy Black.
Lord have mercy.
I am Jimmy Black. In Springfield, Missouri.
Well,
as
big city.
As opposed to Oklahoma City, where you guys were going to be playing tonight.
We were, yeah. We were stoked about it, but poor Zach got sick. I think he got pneumonia or influenza or something.
Gosh, is he doing better?
Yeah. We're going to meet him tomorrow, actually, in Dallas.
Dallas, Texas.
Yeah, but so he couldn't do the Montreal show, Toronto show, and the show that was supposed to be last night. Yeah, tonight was supposed to be Oklahoma City.
How'd you guys end up in Springfield?
Man, we got we got a great booking agent. Yeah, his name's Tim Bohr, and he, it was like, emergency. What are we gonna do? We got to fill in these dates. You know what I mean? Because Zach are treating us, Black Label are treating us really good. I mean, they're giving us a lot of money to get on this work, which is really cool.
I like
yeah. So anyway, we had to, we had it budgeted in. We were going to make the shows, so we had to fill it in with something. But it ended up being the shows were fucking killer.
That's awesome. Yeah, I saw some pictures on the Book of Faces, and you guys had some really good crowds.
I think
there.
we played the Opera House in Toronto, and I think there might have been more people for that than the last time we played. This had 1 day's notice.
Yeah.
Dude,
Isn't
it was
crazy
sick.
how that works?
Fuck, yeah, it was great.
Today,
good vibe, too.
And it's good that you guys were able to rebook something because today is the release date for the new album.
That's right, yeah.
Which
the long-awaited Across the Crown.
Here.
Oh, look at you. Where did you get that?
Got that at the store.
Did you buy it, really?
They still sell
they
CDs
still
in
sell
stores.
Physical product, do they?
Yeah, surprisingly enough.
True support.
I got to listen to it on the way up, and I really, really dig it.
Sweet, yeah.
Let's talk about the title. What? No Cross, No Crown.
When we were doing the three-piece, right, the kind of nostalgic hardcore punk rock.
You guys had two albums, self-titled and IX.
9.
It's 9.
Yep. And while we were doing that, Pepper and I were talking, and he was saying, he calls me Mule. Mule, we got to do this. We got to get back together and do some shit. I was like, dude, that'd be great, but you're touring with Down right now, so that's
can't be in two places at once.
Yeah. So it ended up
Johnny Kelly can. There's like 4 of that guy.
Yeah,
seriously.
There are millions. Johnny Kelly says for damn sure. But so anyway, it got to the point where Down were taking some time off, and so we booked a European tour. It was sort of like a barometer, a litmus test to see, what fans thought of it, whether anybody would show up. You know what I mean? And if we got along, if we were having fun, that was the main thing. So anyway, we had this, 2-3 week European thing set up, and all those things came true. We were having a blast. And anyway, one of the first shows we did was in Colchester, England, and it was a super old church. I don't know, like 600-year-old church or something. And that was on the side. We did a photo session there with our T-shirt girl, Linda Stahlberg. And so, it was ta-da. It was one of those things like, we should definitely do, ancient cemetery and stuff. But anyway, No Cross, No Crown was on the side of the church.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, we were all like, that's either a good song title or a good album title or both.
And it became both.
True that.
So now, the going in and writing this and the writing process, what kind of influence? I mean, when you guys, the 4 of you, had not performed together on an album since America's Volume deal.
Yeah, it was like 2000 or something. It's been a long time.
It has been a long time because there's
beers ago.
some revolving members of the band. Just kind of stepping aside, coming back in. So, did you guys just lock yourselves in the studio, or did everybody come together with ideas, or?
A lot of us had ideas, yeah, and we've always been like that. Like, everybody kind of contributes. Like, I write music, too, but we all write music.
Yeah.
And I write lyrics, too. I actually wrote the lyrics to that song, Albatross. And
which is one of it's a fan favorite to hear at the shows.
Oh, yeah.
Everybody loves that
It's fun to
song.
play. Everybody sings along and stuff. But, just like Pepper and I were talking to each other while the three-piece was doing it. When Monty Connor, the president of Nuclear Blast, heard that the 4 of us were getting back together, he called me up immediately and he was like, "Is this real? Are you guys going to do it?"
You just answered my next question.
I was like, "No, I think so. We have to do this tour and see how it's going, right?" And as I said, it ended up being killer. And so he and I would talk like every month or something. And during those every month conversations, he said to me, I'm going to sign you guys. I was like, okay, hold on now. Back up a second. He said, Deliverance is not just one of my favorite COC records, but it's one of my favorite albums of all time.
That's a big.
I know.
Big,
it's like
big
Monty,
thing.
Jesus Christ. So anyway, we kept talking, and he and I were negotiating and stuff like this. Is all without the other guys knowing about it. But it worked out great. So finally, we Monty and I got a basic idea of what the contract was, and everybody was stoked. Anyway, I promised Monty that we would give him one of the best, if not the best, COC record. And I think we delivered on that process for sure.
Absolutely, you can hear
promise, brother.
Different albums. You know, it's a quintessential type of record.
Yeah.
You know that you can hear different pieces from Blind or from America's Volume Dealer or whatever album.
Right.
You can hear little pieces and it flows well. And it's
thanks, man.
such a great record.
Well, we've been playing together for a long time. Woody and I started the band and Mike Dean started the band in '82 or something. So we've been together a long time, and I think the three of us really learned how to play our instruments together.
Yeah.
Actually, I know we did. As a matter of fact, I had gotten a drum kit for Christmas from Santa Claus, and but I didn't know how to play. Anyway, I've known Woody since 5th grade. I've known Woody forever, and we were friends, obviously, and he taught me how to play some beats. He taught me the Ramones beat, that stack, right? The Ramones beat and the punk rock beat, the oot-tat, oot-tat, oot-tat. So 2 months later, because I learned those beats, we started COC. So we've played together for a long time, and a lot of the influences we had, like more metallic,
So you can think
70s hard rock,
Santa
Claus, and Woody, yeah.
Santa Claus and Woody.
And Woody, yeah. And so anyway, we really learned to play, and you could see the progression of our songwriting from the early stuff, which is more straight up hardcore punk rock, to the Eye for an Eye record. Like one of the songs on Eye for an Eye is really Symptom of the Universe by Black Sabbath, just sped up really fast. Yeah. And we do like Judas Priest's version of A Green Manalishi on there. And we did one of our songs, we had Cornucopia as an intro. So we started playing a little bit better together, and those influences started oozing in. All the while, when Eye for an Eye came out, a lot of folks in New Orleans, like Mike Williams and Pepper, became real big COC fans. And actually, both those guys were like pen pals in the old days. So whenever we go to New Orleans, we would play with Pepper's band, Graveyard Rodeo. So it was almost like he had been in the band because he had a lot of the same influences, liked all the same shit. So by the time he joined the band in '89 or whenever it was like he'd been in the band the whole time anyway. When we went in the studio, originally the idea was that we were going to do the basic track. We're going to do demos at our rehearsal space in Raleigh, and write a shitload of songs because Mike Dean's got a nice little recording set up there. Our bass player Mike, and so we did a shitload of demos over about 6 months, and we had John Custer, who's produced every COC record since Blind in '91. So he's been he's an integral part of the band. He's like a fifth member by this time. But so we were doing all this stuff, and one thing John's really good at doing is getting like the best fucking energy-filled, like straight up COC live kind of feeling take, right?
Yeah.
Like I could play a song perfectly, right? But if it didn't have that energy, he'd get me to do it again. You know what I mean? I mean, he's good at doing that.
But it comes through on the album.
Yeah, I think it does.
It's got that energy. It's raw. It's got a nice raw energy.
Yeah. So we were doing these supposed demos, but it finally got to the point where we were like, well, how is this going to be any better if we have to record them again? Because it had that vibe to it. It was just oozing with vibe.
Instead of going back and re-recording.
Yeah, I mean, that was the question. How are we going to get better than this? This already has it. That has that thing. When the thing is hard to capture, you can play stuff like a lot of. I don't want to point any fingers or name any names, but a lot of metal bands these days, they quantize the drum tracks and make everything perfectly. And to me, in COC, lots of times the little mistakes or speed ups or slow downs make what a band sounds like a band.
It gives it a personality.
Personality,
it doesn't have to be razor sharp all the time. And there are some bands that have to be that way.
There's a lot of bands that have to be that way. Yeah.
But you when you have a little bit more of a looser rock and roll sound.
Yeah.
The mistakes, the warts.
Yeah. I'm with you. So we're doing these songs, and like I said, we posed the question to ourselves: how are we going to do any better, right? Mm-hmm. And so we decided we were just going to keep them. We were going to originally I was going to do we're gonna do the drum tracks at Dave Grohl's studio in Northridge. I'm old friends with him, and we did some recording there before. But man, like I said, it was sounding so badass. So we ended up getting this guy named Mike Fraser, who's like a famous engineer, producer, mixer guy from Vancouver. We got him to mix it, and I mean, it sounded good. But after Mike Fraser got hold of it, yeah, it sounded killer. He did. He mixed the Wise Blood record.
Yes, another great, phenomenal album.
Well, thank you. You're gonna make my head explode.
So one of the things we were talking about off camera is "Son and Daughter," the very last track on the album, which is a cover of Queen, which Brian May wrote.
Yes, that's true.
You got some feedback from that campaign.
Yeah. It was a shocker today. Well, like you said, the album came out today, and I don't know, somebody hooked up the Queen folks with that track, and they tweeted today. They were like, thumbs up, that sounds great, and all this shit. It's like, that's what? Awesome. No way. But it was real. I saw it. I done seen it on the interwebs. It's up there.
What made you guys pick that track?
John Custer. He's been bugging us to do it since 91.
Wow.
90 fucking 1. He thought it would just fit us really good, and he was right.
Now, any standout tracks? I know with a new album, it's going to change as you play the songs, as you listen to them again. What are the ones that you're digging right now yourself?
Yeah, it's like you're trying to ask me to pick my favorite child. I know we have. Look at you. Why are you putting me kind of pressure like that on me? It's kind of hard to say. We're right now
the ones you do live.
Well, unfortunately, we're only doing one live right now. We're doing the Luddite, which has got a lot of crazy look at me drum stuff on there. So I like that. Look at me. And so we're doing that, but we learned 3 total. So hopefully when we're doing our own headlining thing, I know this is a headlining thing, but when we're doing a proper headlining thing, we'll add a lot more songs. And what song do you like on it? I know you've only heard it 2 or 3 times now. Or once. Maybe you only heard it once.
I get to hear it twice.
You got to hear it twice?
On the way over here. I got to listen to it twice.
Good quality long album there.
Absolutely. The Luddite, like you said, I really dig that.
That's
Cast the First Stone is the one I got to listen to over and over again because it was the first or second single that you guys released.
Second? Yeah, it was one of the first 2, yeah, for sure.
Because I know there were 2, and then Forgive Me is another one that definitely stands out there. But, it's going to be one of those albums that every time I listen to it, something else jumps out.
Yeah.
I'll be like, all right, that's the one.
Yeah. Gotta look good ear candy on that thing.
Yeah, that's how Deliverance was, man. At first, it was like Albatross. It was like, Broken Man. No, this is the track I really dig. And
we play Broken Man tonight.
Oh, that's awesome, dude.
I love that song, too.
It's one of my favorites.
Yeah, me too.
I'm really digging it, and I'm really happy to see you guys on Nuclear Blast with
me too.
Seeing that he basically is just hoarding all of these awesome metal guys over there, that's just...
He is. He knows what he's doing, too. I've known the guy for 30 years. He's a good dude. He definitely knows his shit.
Absolutely.
Yeah, he rules.
So, after this, you guys...
Monty fucking Connor.
You guys are going to be going, you're going to stay on the road with BLS for a while. After that, what happens?
You got any ideas? What should we do?
Tour some more.
Hopefully we're going to tour a lot more. I think we're doing some festivals in UK and in Europe this summer. And in between the festivals, we're going to fill in some stuff like a week or 2.
Okay.
Headline gigs. And then, I don't know, it's kind of up in the air what we're going to do. We're definitely going to tour a fuckload, though.
And hopefully come back to Oklahoma City.
Hell yeah, motherfucker.
I know there were a lot of people out there that was a little disappointed.
You better come see us.
They get some COC. And,
you know what? I'm talking to you.
And the other thing, too, is you guys are going to have the vinyl out for people to purchase at the merch stand.
That's true.
That's another question that was asked on the interwebs was, is the vinyl going to be available?
Yeah.
If it doesn't sell out tonight, it will be.
Fuck, I know, dude. I think they only printed up like 500 of them or something, so.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, well.
Get me one of them.
I will get you one for sure.
Any last words for your fans out there?
Death to false metal? I don't know. You got any?
Death to false metal?
You got anything profound, articulate?
My favorite one.
Why don't you shed some of your...
My favorite one so far is from Doyle.
Your omniscience from Doyle.
Doyle looks right at the camera and says, "Don't steal no music." And I think that's something we can all agree on, man.
There's a couple ways you can steal music.
People
songwriting and
downloading. And physically, download and lifting it from the stores. But it's going to get to a point where people aren't going to want to do this anymore. And if you want the music to survive, you're going to have to pay for it.
Yeah, big time. It's interesting because it's kind of now like it was when we first started playing. Like you couldn't make money being on a record label necessarily because the record labels weren't signing hardcore punk bands. And the biggest bands in the world to us were Black Flag and Misfits.
Ramones, Motorhead.
Yeah, that kind of stuff. And maybe the Ramones and Motorhead made a little bit, but none of the hardcore punk bands did.
Yeah.
So you had to get in the van, like Rollins said.
Get in the van.
Yeah, you had to get in the van. You had to tour. You had to sell T-shirts and vinyl and stuff like that. And it's similar to the way it is now.
And there's there's absolutely nothing wrong with hard work, but if you're doing that, you want to see something come of it.
Yeah.
If you're hustling, you don't just stand there and just throw shirts out to people and say, all right, well, send me good thoughts. It's not easy. Being on tour constantly. People have this weird. Well, you're on a label, you're making millions of dollars.
Oh, Jesus, I wish that was true now.
Him and Bon Jovi just took all that money and
who did it?
Rocked all the faces.
I thought it was Linkin Park or Skip Lisket Squick. What were they called? Limp Biscuit?
Squid Biscuits. Squid Biscuits.
Those guys. So it's kind of getting back to that. Well, plus we really love to tour.
Yeah.
I mean, we've been doing this since we were little kids out of high school. So
81, man. That's
that
was before the internet.
Get in the van, like Rollins said. Another thing Rollins said was about playing live and recording, and I think I was talking to somebody about this yesterday. Is he said because Flag was all about playing live.
Oh yeah.
And they played everywhere. They probably played here. But somebody asked him about recording, and he said, "Well, it's about playing live, and playing live that's the get off. Recording is just the documentation of the get off." I think that's true, and that's what happened to us. We really documented, I think, our live feel.
Absolutely. Go pick the new album up, download it, pick it up live. Go to your local record store, whatever you got to do.
Yep.
And keep it turned to 11.